Setting a goal and working towards achieving that goal entails determination, hard work, and remaining focused to achieve that goal. Man's quest for achieving higher goals in life's journey is a continuous one. In fact, some people never stop in their educational quest for excellence and recognition. Graduation Day is always a day of rejoicing, for it marks the conclusion of an educational journey after a lot of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge. After a successful presentation of their reports to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by participants of the Senior Executive Course 45, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies organized a colorful, well-attended graduation ceremony for the participants at Kuru, Jos. Today on the program, we shall bring you a full package of the graduation ceremony where a total of 97 graduates proudly put on the yellow badge as MNIs. Thank you for joining us once more. I am Lydia Ochi. You're welcome. The Senior Executive Course is the flagship program of the National Institute. These participants have been at the Institute since February this year and are now through with their program, which lasts 10 months each year. The participants of SEC 45 have completed their course. The theme for this year is industrialization, energy security, and climate change in Nigeria, issues, challenges, and prospects. Stay with us as we bring you the graduation ceremony and the commissioning of the legacy project for SEC 45.
It's new, it's fresh, it's all about policies and strategies. Watch out for NIPSS Policy TV programs on NTA News 24. Tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, Star Times Channels 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703. Miss this and miss out on policies that will affect you and our country. Join us.
The National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS, Kuru, held a graduation ceremony and distinguished annual lecture for 97 eminent participants of the Senior Executive Course 45, 2023. The 10-month course is the Institute's core mandate of training top-class technocrats of high intellectual capacity for the implementation of innovative and dynamic policy initiatives and strategies critical for national development. The well-attended event, which had dignitaries, high-class office holders, and well-wishers from across the country, had in attendance His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who was represented by the Minister for Transportation, Saidu Ahmed Alkali, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Architect Samuel Jatau, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwambin Musa, OFR, the host, Director General, NIPSS, Professor Ayo Omotayo, Brigadier General CFJ Udaya, retired, MNI, Secretary and Director of Administration, Professor Fumi Paramalam, MNI, Director of Studies, Professor Shola Adeyonju, MNI, Head, Public Affairs Department, Directing Staff, Directors of Institutions, members of faculty, participants, and invited guests from all walks of life. Professor Omotayo, while expressing his joy, said he is elated as the event marks the successful accomplishment of a core national assignment, adding that the institute, which stands as Nigeria's foremost and apex policy think tank, has dedicated itself since inception towards finding credible solutions to Nigeria's developmental challenges through cutting edge, evidence based research.
I am particularly elated because this event marks the successful accomplishment of a core national assignment, beginning with the instruction by Mr. President to the National Institute last year. The assignment was for us to conduct research into a major issue that borders Nigeria, and the theme given to us is industrialization, energy security, and climate change in Nigeria. Your Excellency, as Nigeria's foremost apex policy think tank, the National Institute has dedicated itself, since it was established 4 years ago, to finding credible solutions to Nigeria's developmental challenges through cutting-edge and evidence-based researches. It may interest you, Your Excellency, that the various recommendations from the National Institute have been implemented at one time or the other. One of those will be the establishment of the Federal Road Safety Commission sometimes in the early century. The flagship training program amongst other courses of the National Institute is the Senior Executive Course. Participants of the course are drawn from the armed forces, the police, paramilitary and national security agencies, federal and state civil service, the labor, professional bodies, women's societies, and the private sector. Participants from the military must not be below the rank of a colonel or equivalent in all the services. Those from the police and paramilitary should not be below the rank of commissioners and controllers respectively, while those from the federal civil service must not be below the rank of the director, and from the states not below permanent secretary. Others that constitute the course are professors and chief executives of companies that have a turnover of more than 2 billion naira and with a minimum staff strength of 50. The general objective of the senior executive course is to achieve the mandate of the institute by providing a unique opportunity to participants for purposeful reflection, research, and dialogue among academics of excellence, policy initiators, and other citizens with practical experience in important societal issues as they relate to Nigeria. The specific objectives include to improve the overall performance of participants in their different professions, to prepare participants to appreciate the short and long-term national planning processes, together with the importance of policy implementation and problems associated with this. Also, it is to stimulate intellectual curiosity that will lead to in-depth research into social, economic, political, military, scientific, cultural, and other problems facing the country through the lens of the theme for the year. Like I said before, every year Mr. President decides what he wants us to research upon. Your Excellency, sir, Sec 45 2023, which took up precisely on the 10th of February 2023, was structured into 6 sub-themes, namely conceptual and theoretical perspectives of industrialization, energy, security, and climate change in Nigeria, historical perspectives and trends of industrialization, energy, security, and climate change in Nigeria, frameworks for industrialization, energy, security, and climate change in Nigeria, and of course, stakeholders and actors in industrialization, energy, security, and climate change in Nigeria. We also took a comparative analysis of global best practices in industrialization, energy, security, and climate change. And of course, we looked at the prospects of industrialization, energy security, and climate change. We have different sub-themes for the we have different modules for the sub-theme. We have 9 modules, and I'm not going to go on to that. As Your Excellency may have observed, the structure of the curriculum for the senior executive council is broad, encompassing, rich, elastic, flexible, and well-suited to adapt to anything in any sector that Mr. President may direct participants to focus on. Most importantly, the resource persons and course facilitators are usually drawn from among the best within and outside Nigeria in the academics, bureaucracy, military, paramilitary, and other security institutions. We also involve civil society organizations where we find their expertise necessary. During the course of the tour, the participants visited strategic institutions in the country. We also visited 7 states in the Federation of Nigeria. We visited 6 African countries and 6 countries in other places outside Africa. Your Excellency, sir, let me use this opportunity to thank the government and good people of Plateau State in general and our host, the Kuru community, for the cordial relationship that has existed between us. I can recall that last year, seated on this right corner, was the Gongre of Kuru, who is no longer with us today. I will want at this point to request that we stand up and just honor him with a minute silence. May the gentle soul of Gongre of Kuru, that Patrick Landon, rest in peace. Amen. May you be seated. I must not, but also appreciate the leadership of the Alumni Association of the National Institute, the very, very famous ANI, for always ensuring that the interest of the National Institute is always protected. Given your enormous support, the National Institute will continue to push for a greater Nigeria of our dreams. I also want to report, Your Excellency, that the National Assembly, in general, the Senate and House committees on intergovernmental affairs, which oversight the National Institute, have been very supportive in the activities of the National Institute. We also must appreciate the support given by sponsoring agencies and organizations. Topmost on the list will be our appreciation will go to the military forces, both the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, and the Nigerian Navy. I think for all the support that these military agencies have been giving to Nigeria, I think military men will sit down while those of us who are civilians will actually stand up and clap for them. Without the military, can we please clap for the military? Thank you very much, and have a seat. This is a call on other sponsoring bodies to do something about helping needs. People around us will discover that almost all the buildings there are created, and the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Air Force has done a whole lot. We also acknowledge the police too for what they have done for us concerning our school. The police single-handedly is running the NIPSS school, and I think that also deserves a round of applause. Please, a round of applause to our Your Excellency, sir, let me place on record the immense support of the Office of the Vice President, whom we represent here today, to the National Institute. His Excellency the Vice President, despite his tight schedules, always avails himself on matters and activities that pertain to the National Institute. I do not take this for granted, sir. While welcoming everybody to this graduation ceremony, I must also note that because of want of time, we decided to put the graduation ceremony together with our distinguished annual lecture, and very soon the distinguished annual lecturer will be introduced at the right time. But a round of applause before he is introduced.
While reading a citation of the distinguished annual lecturer, Dr. Solomon Anjide said, Professor Etanibi Alemeka is a professor of criminology with over 150 publications to his credit. Speaking on the topic, security challenges and security governance in Nigeria, Professor Alemeka said, insecurity is determined by political, economic, social structure, and conditions of a country. He also said Nigeria is facing multiple manifestations of insecurity occurring simultaneously and urged policymakers to study the consequences of policies before implementation.
For me, I think this is critical at this point because almost the most dominant problem in Nigeria today that people discuss start from the question of safety and security. And I think we need to begin to reflect. If you stayed on a problem for 2 decades, you'll be asking yourself, what are you doing? How well are you doing it? Why have you been able to solve the problem? And I think a lot of reflection need to go to security architecture and security governance in Nigeria. I start as a matter of introduction. After the introduction, if I can go further, because Aisha is there. In my earlier career, studying the police in the 80s, they tell you, they say, don't do anything beyond your rank. If at some point I'm stopped by the institute, after the introduction, I'll be satisfied that I have delivered my lecture. So, for the introduction, I note that insecurity is determined by political, economic, and social structure and conditions of a country. I do not look forward to the armed forces, the police, and the paramilitary organization to be the solution to the Nigerian security problem because they are not the creators. The creators are those major actors in our economic, political, and social institutions. And if you're looking for solution, you must go back to those creators, not those who have been employed to solve that problem. So that's the first point I would like us to take away. Security agencies are reactive instruments. That means there are preventive instruments. Those preventive instruments are politics, they are economics, and then the social organization of society. If you don't get it right at those levels, there's no amount of effort of the security agencies that can solve your insecurity problem. That's the second point I want us to go home with. Then, of course, and I want to indicate, this is not the first time we're having a security problem. If anything at all, insecurity has been part of Nigerian crisis. And the reason, again, goes back to the structure of our economy and the nature of our political behavior. So this insecurity in the country is not new to us. Every country, of course, has insecurity. What differs are usually the scale of the insecurity, the length of the insecurity, but most important, the capacity of the government to prevent those insecurity becoming a major concern to the citizens. So question of the security agencies is a matter of capability to resolve those crises when they have happened. But the government, political and economic decisions are the ones that are very preventive. So please, any security agencies from the army to the police to civil defense today, go home and rest that the major problem confronting the country today is that we have not made the economic and political decision we ought to make with respect to solving the insecurity. And it's not because we have not deployed enough army, not enough navy, enough air force, police, and the rest. So that's another point we need to do. We need to understand the limit, the constraint of the security agency in solving insecurity. So what that means is security agencies are meant to react to a limited conditions of insecurity if you adequately prevent them. Or in that reaction, they are supposed to have enough capability to respond as promptly as possible. I give an example. The total number of crimes committed in Nigeria is probably not more than those one committed in New York and California in the USA, just 2 states in America. The difference is within 24 hours in USA, there will be result. In 24 years in Nigeria, we'll still be looking for who did it. So that's a question of capability. So you find challenge of problem and then the capacity to solve the problem. So for me, these are very important. We've always had crises. If you go to our history, you find that crisis occurred in the early 60s, which of course was the explanation for the 1966 coup. The whole electoral problems in the West was one of the excuse for January 15, 1966 coup. So we've always had problems. At some point it was armed robbery. Many of us would remember Oyenusi, would remember Danini and the rest of them. Those were panicky times also where armed robbery was dominant. And of course, we found times when it was the militant in the Niger Delta. At one point, it was the OPC. We had Matasine insurrection. So we are not new to crisis. So what is it that is specific in the current contemporary crisis? It is the fact that never in the history of Nigeria have we ever had insecurity, different forms of insecurity happening at the same time. If it was armed in the past, it was armed robbery, we were confronted with armed robbery, and we all collectively tried to solve armed robbery. If it was, militancy, it was one problem. But this is a time where we have about 7 to 9 major manifestations of insecurity occurring simultaneously. And I think that is the major problem. And I think those in government, I think that's what they need to begin to understand. We never have that multitude. That's what distinguishes between now. Otherwise, we are witnesses to 2000 and 2002. In just alone within 7 days, even government reports said that not less than 1,600 people were killed in 2021. You will recall that in less than 3 days, as a result of reaction to Sharia between 2002, more than 2,000 people were killed within 3 days in Kaduna. So this is not the issue. We've always had it, but it's this complex one. And what makes this frightening is that if they occurred individually, we did not treat them properly, and they have decided to occur at the same time. And I think that's the lesson for political decision makers. When you begin to have complex, I think in institute they are called complex, complex insecurity, then you know your country is in very serious crisis. And you begin now to look for complex solutions and no longer simple solutions. And what is the simple solution? And that takes me to the concept of security. Traditionally, security was considered in terms of defense against the external enemy and prevention or the control of internal criminals. That was the traditional understanding of security.
In their respective goodwill messages, Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Gwambing Musa OFR applauded the management of the National Institute for their progress and continuous intellectual contributions towards national development. He said Nigeria is passing through man-made security challenges and called on all to take ownership and leadership of the security situation of the country.
We have everything that we need to achieve that. Everything. God has blessed us. I think has blessed us. Maybe it has also become a challenge. We need to sit down and, like you said, a retreat to always look at why are we where we are. I remember when we were secondary, we hear about Vision 2020, Vision 2010, and all this. I wanted to be among the first 20 economy, 2020. And I asked myself, it's just like running a marathon race. If you assume that today you want to be among the first 20, which means you have to identify one country that you're going to overtake. Which country are we identifying? We have the capacity. We have the leadership, we have the material resources, we have the mineral, everything that we have, we need, we have. But somehow, we're not there. But I'm sure we'll get there. That we're determined and that we're focused. Unity of purpose is basic and most important. We must take ownership of Nigeria. What we don't do is that we think somebody else should come and fix Nigeria for us. Nobody will. Now we have the issue of Japan, everybody wants to leave. And I tell them that, well, if everybody in those countries had left, would they have fixed their country? You don't expect anybody to fix you. You must stay and say, look, it is enough, we must. Starting from elections. How many people go to vote? We see very high numbers. I think this time around it was about 91 million registered voters. How many voted? Most people just feel it's not necessary. Even if you feel your votes won't count, go and vote. You have made a statement. And that's the beginning of it. And that's what democracy starts for. So I want to thank the college for this, for the opportunity to be here, especially our lecturer. We have said it all. Challenges are there. What do we do about the challenges? I think psychologists say if a madman tells you he's mad, he's 60% okay. So if we know that we have challenges, so I'm sure we know what we are supposed to do and how we can go about it. The incident in Kaduna is very unfortunate. I always want to mention it. It's very sad. It's something that shouldn't have taken place. But it's a mistake. And it was because those in charge were actually in the course, they had the reports, something was going to happen, and they were. And at that instance, something similar to what normally happens. And it got carried away and then they reacted. It wasn't on purpose. You see, when you listen to the news, my fear is when we discourage our troops, next time, even when the original or the real ones come, they will not want to act what they say. If we do, and it's a mistake, we won't do anything. So I think we should try and look at these things dispassionately when incidents occur. Nobody in his right man's mind will wake up and just look at people and just bomb them for that reason. We are all Nigerians. We are meant to protect Nigerians. And that's what we're doing. And because of it, we might make mistakes. Because we're humans, but it will never be deliberate. So I want to appeal to all of us. Firstly, always pray for Nigeria, pray for our leaders, stand strong, believe in this country. It's a great and wonderful country that we have. We must not let it down. So I want to thank you again, once again, on behalf of members of the armed forces and for the Institute for doing a wonderful job. The commandant we have met on several occasions. I've been very proud every time I visited because it's always looking new. Things are always improving, and that's how it should be. I want to thank you very much for the work you do, and you and the entire staff. We're waiting for the participants that are passing out. We have tasks for you ahead already with the new knowledge you are bringing, so that you can come and let us improve on our operations.
When we go out there, it is about value addition. We need to see your Midas touch in our offices, in governance, in all the aspects of governance that you come from, business and so on and so forth.
Set 44 was very robust. But I told the Set 44 MG that I'm so happy that Set 45 is more robust than Set 45. You know why? Your uncertainties of the transition, and you are still looking happy, well-seated, and well-grounded.
Giving a comprehensive breakdown of their 10-month course activities, the Monitor General of the Senior Executive Course 45, Colonel Yusuf Ibrahim, said, the occasion marks the success of a memorable phase of pursuit of academic excellence. He commended the doggedness and resilience of the DG NIPSS, Kuru community, and the Plateau State government for their hospitality and undivided support.
It is an honor and privilege for me to stand before you as the Monitor General of this distinguished course and share a few thoughts on behalf of the remarkable individuals who make up Senior Executive Course 45. The course assembled on the 10th of February 2023, and by the grace of Almighty God, we are graduating today, 9 September 2023. A total of 97 of us started the 10-month rigorous, highly demanding, educating, and working course, and same number of us are graduating today. I wish to humbly express our special appreciation to Mr. President for granting us the rare opportunity of graduating from this noble, prestigious, highest thinking tank institution for policy and strategic studies in the country. We are indeed very grateful. Your Excellency, sir, the theme of Senior Executive Course 45 is industrialization, energy security, and climate change in Nigeria, issues, challenges, and prospects, and it consists of 9 modules, which include understanding Nigerian state, research methodology, industrialization, energy security, and climate change in Nigeria, issues, challenges, and prospects, and others are policy and strategic leadership, economic and management studies, science, technology and innovation, international relations, defense and security studies, as well as peace and conflict studies. During the course period, we went on strategic tours to 14 ministries, departments, and agencies that are critical to this field of study. We also went on a local study tour to 7 states of the Federation, and we equally visited 7 African countries and 6 countries outside Africa. This enabled us to enhance our research and findings on the course field. Additionally, we listened to a total of 128 lectures from erudite scholars of national and international repute. Apart from individual research projects, Senior Executive was 45 of 2023 had a very rewarding crisis game, sport week, and of course, a very, very impressive panel with Mr. President. Senior Executive was qualified, in all honesty, is a very unique, blessed, and special, with a combination of intellectuals from both public and private sectors. As we reflect on our challenges, triumphs, and wealth of knowledge we have gained over the past 10 months, I am reminded of the dedication and camaraderie that define our collective experience. Senior Executive course is not just an academic pursuit. It is a transformative journey that shapes leaders, fostering a deeper understanding of the complexity of our dear nation. Together, we have delved into the intricacies of leadership, strategy, and governance. We have engaged in thought-provoking discussions, challenged our assumptions, and broadened our perspectives. The friendship forged and bonds created, and the lessons learned have laid an indelible mark on each one of us. Our time together has been characterized by the pursuit of excellence and commitment to service, and shared vision of contribution to the progress and prosperity of our great nation. The diversity, backgrounds, experiences, and expertise within the cohort has been our strength and enabled us to tackle complex issues with strategic approach. The special guest of honor, sir, permit me to acknowledge the commitment of Senior Executive was fortified in adding value to this great institution. Essentially, our legacy project, which is the construction of a training center that's about to be commissioned any moment from now. This training center was constructed to, among other things, enable middle career military and paramilitary career officers and the personnel of commensurate category in the public and the private sector to attend courses in strategic leadership, policy formulation, and implementation of other aspects of leadership training at the National Institute is known for. This project, which is worth well over 100 million naira, has no doubt improved the overall infrastructural backbone of this great institution. I also raise the medium to commend the Muslims and the Christian participants for their individual and collective contributions to the project of the Institute mosque and the chapel. We do not only show mutual respect for each other's religion, but set a pace for harmony and coexistence among us and between the religions in the country. Please appreciate members of Senior Executive Course 45 with their sounding applause.
The Director of Studies in her speech said the participants went through series of lectures, brainstorming sessions, and adequate learning from scholars and pool of intellectual practitioners. She expressed joy over the endorsement of the SEC-PALI report by the Presidency and called on the participants to make proper use of the knowledge acquired in nation building.
But please, graduates, please note, as the NG also hinted, It is the sincere hope and expectation of the National Institute that the knowledge, experiences, skills, and values imbibed in NIPSS will be carried forward towards a better society. And this has to come about in your respective private as well as public endeavors. And we believe that you will do just that. Your Excellency, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before calling them up, it is important to place on record that this year's Senior Executive Course program would not have been possible without the indomitable commitment of the Director General, along with the dogged determination and commitment of management and a high caliber crop of directing staff, senior fellows, and indeed the entire NIPSS staff team. In particular, the NIPSS faculty have been on the front line of providing academic input and mentorship to participants throughout the course of the year, and I will please crave their indulgence to rise for recognition. The faculty of the
In recognition of a successful completion of the course program, participants were issued certificates of excellence by the special guest of honor.
Mr. Emmanuel Ebedechukwu Ochei, Director C. Dr. Gani Enagoro.
The participants could barely contain their joy as they were awarded the long-awaited title of Member of the National Institute, MNI, followed by an immediate induction into the Alumni Association of the National Institute by the ANI Executive President, Ambassador Obi Okafor.
Here at the National Institute, I want to admit you all into the membership of the National Institute.
Congratulations.
We are very proud that the team led by the DG has kept this flag flying very well. It's a round of applause to the management team. I also want to thank the government for the support of this institute. And we will not fail the government in providing invaluable research materials for national development. This group, as you were walking up and you noticed, it's like a family. You have nicknames. Even in our own group, we have people we call boom, boom, boom. I will not explain. And that shows that camaraderie that will exist among ourselves. Every member of the National Institute is a family member to every person. After spending 10 months, which other brother do you have or sister? It's among yourself. Therefore, in your various offices, as you walk in, you see somebody adorning this badge, give the person priority. That's why they call us Mafia Nigeria Incorporated. You must be your brother's keeper. And we have tried to go around to some strategic institutions, and we always tell them, members of the National Institute should be your right-hand man and women. And we have been told that they have never been disappointed with the product of this institute. So I want you to go out there and tell the whole Nigeria that what you have spent 10 months here is not a fluke. You have the capability to change this country. So I congratulate those. The DG had told me that this group, anybody that has not lived up to expectation, will not be admitted into this
Mafia Nigeria Incorporated Fellowship. And I'm happy today the DG has confirmed that you have all done very well. Please, a round of applause for yourself. And at this juncture, I will advise you to check into your various portfolios that we have been given, get out the pin, and please adorn yourself and then keep standing.
We are true allegiance to the constitutions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Alumni Association of the National Institute. I will at all times observe, respect, protect, defend, and devote myself to the said constitutions. So help me God.
Delivering a speech on behalf of the President, Saidu Ahmed Al-Khali expressed great delight for being honored to be invited to the nation's apex policy think tank for the first time as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which had over the years played a very critical role in our efforts towards the achievement of a better nation.
It gives me great delight to be here at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies for the first time as the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am honored to be invited to the nation's apex policy think tank, which has over the years played a very critical role in our efforts towards the achievement of a better nation. I am specifically fascinated by this occasion of the graduation of the participant of the Senior Executive Course 45 of 2023, as it largely indicates the consistency of needs in actualizing the dreams of the founding fathers in developing a crop of top-class technocrats that will support our collective efforts for the great Nigeria we desire. I congratulate the Institute for its consistency and acknowledge its strides toward achieving the other aspect of its mandate, which is the generation of ideas, new techniques, skills, policies, and new directions to guide policy making at the highest level, especially in a period of heightened global threats, regional instability, and subsistent national challenges. I use this special moment to urge you to continue in this trend as our government is ready to give you all the necessary support to achieve on your mandate. Let me seize this opportunity to place on record that this administration, like the ones before, it sees NIPSS as a competent and dependable partner in our resolve in implementing the renewed hope agenda. Your submission on course teams every year have evolved a new policy addressing major national issues or resulted in a review of existing policies to accommodate current realities. I applaud your effort at engaging the best brains to provide workable solutions to critical national issues, which have been useful in resolving several national issues, even in the face of limited resources. We continually expect your input in determining solutions and recommendations to subsistent and emerging issues, as I too to come up with more innovation and remain committed and focused on our mission towards a better society. As a responsible and responsive government, it is our burning desire to provide good governance at both national and subnational level, as encapsulated in our renewed hope agenda. Our very strong desire is for all government interventions to work towards improving national security, economy, agriculture, power, oil and gas, transportation, education, health, and digital economy, among others. The choice of this year's course theme, industrialization, energy security, and climate change in Nigeria, issues, challenges, and prospects, is critical to our policy trust. It underscores our trust in you as a strong ally to our efforts towards sustainable development as a nation. I must tell you that the government is impressed with the content and quality of the Pali report submitted to me at the Villa area. You have indicated, justified the confidence reposed on you. I assure you that your recommendations will be utilized with the urgency it deserves. My government will work with you closely towards improving your condition of service and welfare. We are committed to getting the best hands to work in our think tank. As such, we shall expedite action on the most needed of the art establishing the institute. To the graduates, the activities and experience through the duration of the course must have impacted positively on you. I am sure you are leading the institute much better than you can. The course must have enriched you both intellectually and professionally, and also equip you with superior knowledge, skills, strategy, and increased responsibility to perform optimally at your place of work. I believe you will perform better in the interest and good of the nation. Be reminded that so much has gone into your training. This includes confidence, finance, and effort from the faculty and yourselves. Please do not let the nation down. As much is expected from you as you return to serve the nation through your various offices. I congratulate you all on your graduation and wish you the best as you resume your position or assume higher responsibilities in the various fields of endeavor. To whom much is given, much is required. To the management and staff of the National Institute, congratulations for producing excellent and workable recommendations. The government buys into your mission towards a better society, as it's ever willing and ready to support you in achieving it for our nation and people. Thank you all, and God bless.
It has been exciting, it has been tough, and at the end of the day we're walking away blessed with a wealth of knowledge, a new set of friends and family, and of course, being equipped to be able to face what the world has to offer. Yeah.
I'm so full of excitement, I'm full of gratitude, accomplishment. I mean, throughout the years I've been in service, coming to NIPSS has been a dream I wanted to, and I'm glad that today that dream has come to fruition. So I'm really happy and thankful to God Almighty who made it possible.
It's new, it's fresh, it's all about policies and strategies. Watch out for NIPSS Policy TV programs on NTA News 24. Tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, Star Times Channels 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703. Miss this and miss out on policies that will affect you and our country. Join us.
The SEC Legacy Project was commissioned and dedicated to God and for the use of humanity by the special guest of honor, Saidu Ahmed Alkali.
It is my honor and privilege to commission this legacy project of course 45 of the Senior Executive Course 2023 on behalf of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is unavoidably absent for a good cause, in the glory of God and for the benefit of humanity.
Sector 45 decided to go on the construction of this training center, and the essence of this training center is to be able to train the mid-career officers. That is at the level of assistant director, and then their equivalent in private and public sector on policy formulation, policy implementation, and other leadership courses. Because we feel most of the people that come for this senior course are actually directors and are almost leaving the service. So we need the mid-career officers to come up so that at least by the time they find themselves working with those that have already achieved the MNI, it will be easier for them to understand the language, having trained in the same institution.
The Legacy Project is a dream that was birthed and that came true. We felt other SEC members have been doing, or other SEC groups have been doing Legacy Projects, and we felt whatever we're going to do should be a landmark project, considering the fact that, number one, we are far more than the other SEC members in terms of numbers, so we should be able to do something that the institute required, that they needed. And we had a chat with the management, and they gave us myriads of lists of projects, and we felt which one is the most priority that you would really prefer. And they mentioned this, and we felt, well, if this is your vision, then we'll ensure, with God on our side, it will come to reality. We started, spoke to our colleagues, and as the treasurer of the SEC, well, here's the project now.
In the course of life, sometimes you are misunderstood. Sometimes you are underappreciated. You will meet it. You will naturally feel low as a human being. But in the tides and fortunes of men, God has, his final say. So enjoy the highs, learn from the lows, forge ahead, and keep your ultimate dreams in life in focus.
Congratulations to SEC 45 graduates, even as we wish them the best of luck in future endeavors. They have gained knowledge to enable them take on challenges with clear vision and purpose towards making Nigeria better. That's it on the program today. I am Lydia Ochi. See you next time.